Hi guys, just thought I'd do a little video to explain my story, just so rather than try and type it and have people read it and all that sort of shit. I'll make a video and explain it to you guys. So I'll start, I guess, with the journey for me to get into hospital here. For quite a while, I'd been getting chest pains. It went back for quite a few years, and it was originally diagnosed as blood pressure. I'll get back to the full story on it later, but about a year or so ago, diagnosed as costochondritis, which is an inflammation between the rib cage and the chest plate. So every time and I was told just to take Nurofen. So, I've been doing martial arts 4 times a week, and, I just take Nurofen before I train and put on deep heat rub, and I wouldn't feel any pain at all. So a couple of weeks ago, on the 29th of April, I was training and I hadn't had any Nurofen, I think, before that, and I did some jogging to warm up, and I was feeling a bit of chest pain. And normally it just goes away. If I just stop for a second, it just go away, and I just get on with it. But this one was a little bit persistent, and I just got halfway through the lesson. I said to Nathan, "Fuck this! I'm stopping. I can't just keep going on like this. I've got to go and find out a best solution than Nurofen and deep heat rub. This is stupid. I've got to work out how to fix this costochondritis thing." So I finished the lesson early and went home, and on the way home I tried to book an appointment with the doctor Duncan had been seeing, which is the second doctor to the one that had diagnosed it. And he was booked up because of Easter and a couple of short weeks there with holidays, so he was booked up. So he could only see me last Thursday. And I went to see him, and he's an ex-emergency nurse and stuff, so I've seen a lot of crazy shit. He tells me to go for a blood test on Friday. I said, "I can't. I'm going to Melbourne." He said, "Oh, you'll have to go on the way home." I said, "Can't. I've got to go and pick kids up and do stuff this afternoon. I'll just stay home. I'll go on Monday." He's like, "You have to go now. It's serious." I said, "Mate, fuck, I'm not going to die. This has been going on for a long time. It'll be fine. I'll go on Monday." So I went and got the the test on Monday morning, and the result came back within a couple of hours. He calls me up. He goes, "What the fuck?" He said, "You only went for the test today?" He said, "I told you to go last week." I'm like, "Chill out." He goes, "You've got a marker in your blood that only happens if someone's had a heart attack. You need to go, it should be under 40. You're at 74. You need to go straight to emergency. Don't fuck around. Go straight to emergency." So went to emergency, and they tested it again, and it was down at 35. And I'm like, "Well, would I even be here if I'd have got this test this afternoon?" They said, "Oh, maybe not." I'm like, "Fuck." So they said, "Look," the cardiologist came in and he said, "Look, we're going to have to do an angiogram on you, and one of three things is going to happen. We find no blockages and it's something else, which is great, or we find one or two blockages, we'll put a couple of stents in and you'll be out this afternoon, everything will be fine. Or if you've got more than two blockages, you're going to need open heart surgery and a bypass." What the fuck? Like, I didn't feel like I was a heart attack patient at all. So went in for the angiogram on Tuesday morning, and they gave me a thing to sort of calm me down. It wasn't you have to be awake through this, so it wasn't a general anaesthetic, but just something to chill me out a little bit. And they put a local in my arm, so I couldn't really feel my arm that much where it was going in. And the nurse was like, "Oh, just setting you up for the doctor." And I just sort of closed my eyes and just relaxed, just let her do her thing. And I could feel my arm getting pulled around and stuff. And I thought, I didn't really think anything of it. Next thing, I hear the doctor's voice. He goes, "Right, we're done. You got blockages." So I didn't even know he was beside me and doing it. Didn't even feel the angiogram at all. He's like, "You got blockages. It's going to be open heart surgery." I'm like, "Whoa, fucking what?" So, they wheel me back to the room. He comes in a couple of hours later. He goes, "Look, the blockages are bad." He said, "We can't really fix it with stents." I do stents. That's what I do. If I could have put them in while I was there, I'd have done it. But, that's not for you. You need to have open heart surgery. That's it. Out the room. I'm like, whoa, hang on a second. Fuck. And, you just can't take it all in. It's just too much to get your head around. And then I started looking at stuff, and Iam Mann's dad had a procedure where they put something like a stent up through your vessels, and they use a little grinding wheel to grind off the blockages. So I got him to come back in. I said, look, what about this procedure? You go, no, that's for calcified arteries. You've got high cholesterol. You've got cholesterol buildup, not calcium. It hasn't calcified yet. So that's not going to work for you. He said, look, if you want stents, I'll do it. If you don't want an operation, I won't do it. But I'm telling you that you really need to have a bypass surgery. And I was still like, so then he left, and it was still like, fuck, this is just not sinking in. It's too much. Like the first time he came in, he started speaking in acronyms and percentages and stuff. I'm, mate, fucking stop a minute. Speak in full sentences in plain English so I can understand what the fuck you're talking about, right? So he was really good, and he did address my concerns and stuff, but it was still just me not understanding anything about how the heart works or anything, and just getting hit with your fucking, we're going to rip your chest open and pull your heart out, which is all very scary, right? So I said to the nurse, I got the nurse back in. I said, look, this is all getting very confusing. I don't feel like it's seeping in. I think I'm missing things that I want to talk to him about. So I want to make some notes, and I want to get him back in, and I want to get my mate up. I was going to get Iam Mann to come up because he's had heart issues before. So I want to get my mate up to sit here as well and make sure that all the questions are asked and that he hears it as well, so that if I need to further understanding later, and we'll record it just so I can deal with it in my time. And I was speaking to the doctors, can't we put stents in first and buy time to think about doing open heart surgery, right? He said, yeah, you could do that. He said, but that's not the answer. The nurse comes back and said, look, he's going to be, I was at Pindara Hospital up near home, and she said, look, the surgeon that they're talking about is down in John Flynn, which is down near Currumbin, and the cardiologist is going to be there tomorrow. So they're both going to see you tomorrow, and they'll both talk you through it to give you a better understanding. I'm like, good, okay, right. Then when they were discharging me from the Pindara to send me down here to John Flynn, they had a discharge paper with all the tests and stuff there. And I said, is that the angiogram test? And it was acronyms and percentages and stuff. It wasn't really explained. And she goes, yeah. I said, can you explain that to me, to the lady? She was the manager of the cardio unit there. She goes, yeah, sure, no problem. She got out a pen and drew a picture of the heart and drew the vessels and where they are and what's happened. And, the one at the front that they call the widowmaker is nearly 100% blocked, to the point that there's a thing called collateral arteries that come from the other side around and rejoin up and feed blood to the area that's blocked, which is freaky fucking stuff. And then, another 2 90% and 1 70%. She said, look, you have to have bypass. That's all there is to it. And I said, I thanked her profusely. I said, thanks so much for explaining to me. If he'd have told me this yesterday, I wouldn't be off looking at Google to ask Google and chat GPT how to get better, right? So, I was really appreciative of that. They brought me down here. The doctor came in yesterday morning. So Monday was the test. Tuesday was the angiogram and sending me down here. Wednesday morning, the doctor comes in, the surgeon, he comes in. He said, I'm just here to get the angiogram, so I can't read it. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really comment in detail, but I do hear that you got some reservations about getting the operation. I said, well, I did have it up until I got discharged, and the nurse explained it to me. I told exactly what the story I just told you guys. And I said, if the cardiologist had come in with a picture of the heart or a model or something and said, look, this is what's wrong and this is what needs to be done, I'd have been on board right from the beginning. I said, I don't understand why you guys don't explain it that way. She goes, oh, well, sometimes it's better not to tell everyone everything because some patients run away. Like there's one guy that's here that's had problems for 20 years and has run away from surgery before the day it was meant to get done. He goes, sometimes people run away or they want to argue with him and stuff. I was like, yeah, okay, get it. So he comes back in the afternoon. He sits down over here on this windowsill over here, and Mum's on the bed and Dad's over there. And he starts to talk, and the door's halfway open. We can hear a bit of noise outside. So Mum gets up and goes to shut the door. This guy looks at him as though he's walked over his grave. He's like this panic look. He says, what are you doing? She goes, I'm shutting the door. It's too noisy. Les hasn't got his hearing aids in, and we weren't able to hear what's being said. And she's sort of shutting the door. She said, don't shut the door. He goes, oh, can't have the door shut. Got to open the door. So she pulls the door open about 8 inches and starts walking back. He runs over past her, pulls the door to open halfway. Oh, you can't shut the door. I'm claustrophobic. And I'm like, what the fuck? But, you hear these stories about a lot of these doctors, like he's the Rain Man of fucking heart surgery. I've spoken to a lot of people, and this guy's the best. And a lot of them are highly functioning autistics, right? Which is a really good thing because they're fucking detailed people and they hate being wrong and all that sort of stuff. And he was kind of, it was like, I had a guy work for me, I won't mention his name, but this guy was fucking brilliant, but absolutely difficult to talk to other people, and he used to piss people off and stuff. I got him and he was fine. It was brilliant what he did. Anyway, so that was a big relief to see that he was like that. And then we got talking and he explained that this vessel in the front here, he said it's completely blocked, and he talked about those collateral arteries that have come up and joined it and stuff. He goes, not everyone's heart can do that with the collateral arteries. You'd be dead if you couldn't. If your body didn't have the ability to do that, you'd be dead. And he said, in fact, with the blockage you've got, I'm surprised you're still alive. He goes, you should have had many heart attacks. And I talked about that chest pain. And he said, well, now you know what it is. So he said, when did it first happen? I said, well, the first time I can remember, I said, it was when we were racing I was racing the car at Wakefield, and I just felt out of breath and a bit of a pain in the chest, and it really concerned me. So I stopped the race, I pulled off, went in to see the ambulance and the medics and stuff, and they told me I had a high blood pressure. So, and Dad and I worked out that was 2017, right? So that was the first time I can remember having that problem. And after that, that's why I haven't raced for all these years, because I had this concern, which I thought was blood pressure. And I kept going to see people about blood pressure and trying to work that out. And I kind of got over it there for a while with exercise and all sorts of stuff. But then I was getting this chest pain. So eventually I went to this other doctor about a year or so ago who showed me this costochondritis. Put it up on the screen. It shows this red inflammation right here, which is exactly how it felt. When he said it, I'm like, that's what it is. It doesn't feel like it's on the inside. It feels like it's in my chest bone. And so I never, ever suspected it was heart-related. It only ever felt like it was this costochondritis, because I could feel it here. It'd be like, it'd feel tender. And he told me to take Nurofen. And when I first happened, I started taking Nurofen, never got it. Walking on the beach, and I was walking on the beach 2 hours a day, every day. And I was doing martial arts 4 days a week. And if I took the Nurofen, it never happened. I was so happy. I was like, oh, we've nailed it. But then when it happened on the 29th there, it was like, this is too much. I'm fucking sick of it. And the Nurofen's not working, and I don't want to take Nurofen my whole life because it's got its own problems as well. So here I am. If someone had said, and when I was in Thailand at Christmas, I went for a full body check. They did heart scans, all sorts of shit, nothing. No one has ever said, go and get an angiogram. I even didn't know until after it was done that an angiogram was actually dye and an X-ray machine. I thought it was a camera they put up there. So yeah, it was like, fuck. So when I explained it was 7 years ago, he's like, because when I spoke to the other day when I spoke to him, I talked about the chest pain. I said, is it possible these two things are not linked? Is it possible I've got the costochondritis and something with the heart? And the cardiologist said yes. I said, because if that chest pain has been heart attacks, I've had dozens, if not 100 of them. Like, it's been going on for a fucking long time, right? So, when he said to me, I've gone from first feeling really fucking ripped off, like it should be stents. Why am I a bypass candidate? I don't feel like that at all. I feel okay, except for this annoying chest pain. It's not even painful, And I've gone from that and feeling pissed off, and there must be another way around it, to feeling fucking luckiest guy alive and really happy that I'm having this operation. So, it's been a fucking roller coaster ride. Then the original doctor that sent me for the blood test, that got the shits with me for not going, when he told me to go, he called me yesterday. He said, I've seen all the things to go. it looks like you're really lucky. I said, look, remember you got the shits with me for not going on the Thursday and Friday, because when I got the results and it went from 74 to 35 to 26, the 3 tests that they did. So Monday morning was 74, Monday afternoon about 5 o'clock was 35, the next morning it was 26. It's meant to be under 40. And I said to the cardiologist, I said, based on that, how long ago do you think something happened? He said, probably Saturday or Sunday. So when the other doctor called me, I said, remember you got up me for not going on Thursday and Friday? The cardiologist said this. I said, so as it turns out, it's really fucking lucky that I went on Monday instead of Thursday and Friday, because if it happened on Saturday or Sunday, they wouldn't have made a marker on Thursday, Friday, and I'd have still been at fucking risk. So, there's been a few things there where I look at it and I'm like, fucking, you're a lucky boy, Grant Kraft. Kissed on the dick by a fairy. So, anyway, here we are. And now the whole thing's been explained to me. The Facebook thing that I posted has been awesome. You guys are great. Just the people that have just given me support, and also the people that reached out that have had stents and had this operation. Even, I recently bought a business here in Burleigh along with Iam Mann, and we're doing that together. And the broker that sold that business, who's also a boat guy, so we've become mates, he reached out to me, and he'd had the same operation in this hospital with the same doctor. So, it's just been so encouraging and comforting to have support from you guys and all the people that reached out. There was someone else that reached out that's a husband of a girl I went to school with that had the operation. So, it's just been great to have community around me and everyone helping, and just really appreciate that. So it's Friday today. I'm getting operated on tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be sending you guys messages on Saturday afternoon or Sunday to tell you how fucking awesome it is. All right. Anyway, there you go. Just that's the full story. So there you go.